Hi, this is Dr. Alan Rosenthal with the patient Scott Hannock. Hey Scott, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Allen. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
You know, I'm so excited to be back here this morning for my decompression session today. You know, I was reviewing with my parents this past week that I originally met you about 20 years ago. And I was suffering from low back pain constantly, and I had a couple situations where I had, I guess it would have been a sciatic event, and I couldn't get out of bed. And you took care of me 20 years ago. And about a year ago, I had problems where I couldn't walk. I had these terrible pains going down my legs, and I didn't know what was going on. But I used a TENS unit, I did stretching, but nothing was helping. So I went to the doctor, and they told me I had a herniated disc. And first thing that they did is they gave me an epidural injection to relieve some of the pain. And boy, I felt great after that. But it came back within a couple weeks later, and that didn't work. So they gave me a second epidural, and they gave me some medication. And I went for about a month with terrible, terrible pain. And all of a sudden I couldn't walk at all. And the pains were shooting down my legs, and I didn't know what to do. So when I started to see all these back doctors, they were telling me I was a candidate for what was called a discectomy and also a laminectomy. And that was the only thing that they could tell me that I needed was I had to go in for surgery. It's not something I wanted to do. So I started looking around the internet for other, I guess the word is modalities. And all of a sudden, a website popped up in my area, and it was Dr. Alan Rosenthal and back decompression. And it was just about a year ago that I couldn't walk. And last March, while I was coming down the freeway, I placed this phone call to this number called the Back Institute in Thousand Oaks. And lo and behold, Dr. Allen answered the phone, and we spoke, and he said, "Are you the same Scott Hannock I treated 20 years ago?" And I said, "Yeah." So I came in for what would be a consultation for spinal decompression. I looked at this unit, and I was on the verge of having my back cut open. They wanted to do this discectomy and laminectomy, and they told me I'd have to be out of work somewhere between 3 and 6 months. And it's not something I really wanted to do. So I met with Alan, and here I am. Looked at this unit, and all of a sudden we started working on it. And within about 2 weeks of sessions, I think the first week I went 5 days a week, the second week 5 days a week, then the third week I was in 4 days a week. I started to notice something different. The nerve pain down my sides started to dissipate, and I was getting more mobility, and I could bend over, I could pick things up, I could reach above my shoulders and pick things up without this terrible pain going down my back. And all of a sudden it started to work. And we started this process, I think the first week of March, and on May 1st, on my 62nd birthday, I bought a bike. And I started mountain biking. And I returned to golf in July of this summer. And here I am, 62, bike riding, playing golf twice a week. But I'm coming here constantly for a maintenance program to keep my back limber so that I can constantly move. And it's through this spinal decompression, I think, help reduce the inflammation. The word is plump up the discs so that the vertebrae have more space. And all of a sudden, my herniation, which for those of you that if you know anything about millimeters, was a 19 by 12. The second MRI after we went through the decompression system, I think it shrunk down to 4 by 5. And now I don't even know where it's at because I'm not going back for any more MRIs. I just constantly come in for this decompression system.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate your time, and thank you for anybody watching this and getting to hear your story.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.